Today we're talking about real estate lead generation through your sphere of influence. It is an absolute gold mine that many agents overlook. So whether you're starting out and you feel like you don't know enough people, or you already are an experienced agent who just wants to increase production, this video is for you. Real estate isn't just about meeting people, it's about how you treat them, because your network truly is your net worth in this business. And as well too, if you are thinking about interviewing brokerages, send me an email. My info is in the description below. So your sphere of influence is essentially anybody that you know by first name, they know you, and you know them by first name. And if you were to stop and see them in public, you would either wave and say hi to them or stop and have a conversation. These people either own real estate in your market area or they live in your market area, so that you could either do business directly with them or through referral. If you're a new agent, you have one or two problems with your sphere of influence. Either you don't know enough people and you don't know where to start, or you know way too many people and you don't know where to start, because it can be a daunting task. So let's simplify this. If you are an experienced agent, you have one of two problems. Number one, you find that you're not keeping in close enough touch with the people that you know, and so you're losing business as a result, or you're doing very well in the business, but because you're not organized with your sphere of influence, even in spite of large production numbers that you're doing, you never really do feel like you're in control of your business, because it's not until you build that foundation in your network and in your sphere of influence that you can really start to predict what's going to happen with your income, regardless of what's happening in the real estate market. Real estate, as you know, is a people business. You need to invest in those relationships that you have with the people that you know. And of course, we need to talk to all of the people that we know and people also that we don't know yet. Here's a list to jog your memory of people that you already know, or ways to build your sphere of influence if you don't know enough people. Local networking events or real estate investment groups, community association or nonprofit volunteer opportunities, local sports leagues or hobby groups, alumni from your educational institutions from the past. You could host informational real estate workshops or home buyer seminars. You could engage with the followers and community members that you're already connected with on social media that you might have forgotten that you are connected with. You could collaborate with local businesses or do joint events or promotions with them. You could attend local Chamber of Commerce meetings or Rotary Club, Lions Club, BNI, which is Business Networking International, etc. You could organize community yard sales or block parties or barbecue events. You could sponsor a local school event or sports team. You should regularly attend local farmers markets or fairs. Just go to the mall, just go out in public and meet people. You could host a booth at a local trade show or expo. You could pay close attention in the neighborhood Facebook groups that you see online. You could create a local community Facebook group or podcast or YouTube channel. You could engage with people at your local gym, club, or recreational facility. Reconnect with old school friends or acquaintances, former colleagues or employers, distant family members. Rekindle friendships with neighbors from previous residences. Of course, follow up with your past clients, any contacts from former classmates from professional development courses you've been a part of, acquaintances from local businesses that you frequent, people you've met at weddings, parties, or social gatherings, past mentors or mentees, hobbies and interest groups, boards or committees that you've served on or that you maybe should serve on, professionals you've met during open houses or property showings, your current service providers, be it your mechanic, hairdresser, plumber, electrician, landscaper, house cleaner, dry cleaner, personal trainer, accountant, lawyer, dentist, physician, pet groomer, massage therapist, chiropractor, and the list goes on. Any contacts that you've met through your spouse or your siblings or your best friends, any of your children's school or extracurricular contacts, or any contacts from religious or spiritual communities that you're a part of. And the 10% rule article in Real Estate states that as a rule of thumb, if you keep in touch with the people that you know and you add value to them and you present yourself and market to them as a professional real estate resource that they can reach out to if they have any questions in the local marketplace, you should be able to get a 10% return directly or through referral from that group, which means if you had a goal to do 100 sales per year, if your network, your sphere of influence was built up to 1,000 people, you should be able to do 100 deals, 10% directly or through referral in that group. This works no matter what's happening in the market because everybody knows at least 50 people, and on average, people will move once every 7 years for a variety of factors, including perhaps a growing family, maybe empty nesters, a job promotion, job transfer, job loss, maybe a divorce, or perhaps newlyweds. People want to move closer to family. Maybe they've got health concerns and can't do stairs anymore or need to be closer to a hospital. Maybe there's a death in the family. Maybe they've recently retired from their job, or simply just a lifestyle change. Your sphere of influence is your number one gold mine in this real estate business because it is the most cost-effective way to generate leads in this business. It's also the most predictable way to generate leads in this business, but it is based on trust. So you need to earn that trust and not take it for granted. In order to stay top of mind to make sure that you capitalize on the opportunities that come up within your network, you need to contact the people in your sphere at least 4 times per year. But of course, you don't want to come across as too sales pitchy, and you also don't want to feel like you're bothering them, and you need to add value. So here's what you can do. Reach out on their birthday. Make sure that you pay attention to the life events that are happening in their life. And of course, social media makes it very easy to do this through congratulations or perhaps condolences. Give them market updates or home evaluations. Give them updates on local development projects in the area that might have an effect on the value of their home. You can send them a nice holiday greeting card. Keep them updated on which renovations will give them the best return on investment on the resale market so that they know they're spending their dollars wisely. And any events that you're a part of, whether it's a client event, a community event, or a fundraiser. And one of the best is to send referrals to your network from other people that are also in your network. And it becomes a lot easier if you alternate the method of communication through a variety of channels, be it value-based email campaigns, text messages, phone calls, in-person events or coffee meetings, personal handwritten notes, social media messages, and of course, social media content in the newsfeed. But remember, when you're posting on social media, that is marketing. It doesn't make up for the fact that you should be doing prospecting efforts to back that up. Prospecting is like planting the seed, and then marketing is like watering the seed. Prospecting would be considered as phone calls and messages, and then marketing would be anything in the news feed or any email newsletter campaigns that you send out or direct mail that you send to people that's not personally messaged to them. And to give you an idea, if you were to purchase cold leads online, or if you were to go out door knocking, anything cold lead related, your conversion rates may be anywhere from 1 to 3% if you are very good at it. In your sphere of influence, we mentioned that the benchmark is around 10%. If you invest further and add more depth, you can increase that through the highest quality of people in your sphere of influence, which we call your AAA list. But essentially, the time you spend on your sphere of influence in terms of lead generation is 5 times more valuable than if you were to do it through other sources. So if you were to make $50 to $100 an hour as a real estate agent, perhaps more, when you're focusing on your sphere of influence, you're literally talking about $250 to $500 per hour as an example, theoretically speaking, of course. So when you are looking to build this sphere of influence, here's a quick, easy shortcut for where to look. Make sure that you turn every stone in your cell phone contact list, in any old family Rolodex that you might have, any email accounts that you've been using for years on end. Make sure to scour all of your existing social media contacts, any of the friends of close friends and family members on social media, any old business cards or receipts that you have somewhere locked in a drawer or in a binder somewhere, any member for directories online for clubs or sports teams or networking groups or employers that you have been a part of over the past history of your life and career. Any guest lists or Facebook events or Facebook groups that you've been a part of, historically speaking. And like I said, your AAA list is the most important part of this list because those are the people that are most likely to support you. They already do in every other aspect of your life, and or they are very well networked, and or they've already spoken to you that they are more than happy to support your business. Remember, 80% of your referrals are going to come from the top 20% of your list. So make sure that you spend most of your attention and make sure that you invest very heavily into those relationships. And the opposite is also true. 80% of the time wasted in your business is almost always spent on that 20% of the clientele that you generate that don't appreciate your time if you're not cautious with how you operate your business. When you are keeping in touch, make sure that you use some sort of tracking system so that it's easier to go from top to bottom of the list. But don't overthink this. It's really simple just to use names on a sheet of paper or maybe a Google sheet or an Excel sheet when you are getting started. But especially in the beginning, and especially considering this is a very daunting task to organize all of the people on this list. As you go through the list and take all of the names and put them in one place, make sure that you actually reach out to the people on that list as you organize the list. Yes, it will take you longer to completely finish that task, but you will turn an administrative activity that seems to take forever anyways into a productive activity where you can actually pick up clients and you can actually generate leads as you do this administrative activity so that you always make sure that you consistently have leads coming to your business. In spite of the fact that you're working on building your business from the bird's eye view, you're also hands-on and in the business having conversations as you do it. And make sure that when you are reaching out to people, take some notes as to what you said during that conversation. Take some notes as to what that person's preferred method of contact is, and make some notes as to how frequent that person would generally like to receive communication from you by. Too much is a little bit overwhelming, and too little and they'll easily forget about you. So Chris, what do I say to all these people that I haven't talked to in close to a decade or maybe even more? Well, we have what's called the 4-touch rule. And what that essentially means is, because like I'd mentioned before, we want to keep in touch with these people 4 times per year. And if you haven't talked to them in a while, just simply reach out and reconnect with them and bring up however it is that you already know them by without talking about real estate at all. Just reach back out and say, hey, how's the dog? How's the kids? It's been forever. Just wanted to see how things are going. How have you been? Keep the call very simple and short, 3 to 5 minutes maximum, so that they actually answer your call next time you reach out. Even if they want to talk to you, respect their time and keep it short. Next time that you reach out, you want to refer back to whatever it was the first time that you talk to them, because you want them to understand that you are planning to keep in touch with them and that you value this relationship. Again, the second time you reach out, do not bring up real estate, because you don't want them to be on the defense feeling like you are only reaching out to simply pitch them something. The third time that you reach out, now granted, 3-6 months has gone by already now, perhaps 9 months has gone by already. All you're going to do is reach back out to continue the process, and they're getting used to this now, and you've rebuilt that relationship to the point where you can actually bring up a little bit of a plug in passing to say something about real estate or the market, etc., but you're not asking for referrals directly. And the fourth time, when you reach out, you have now earned the right to ask for business, and it really just needs to be as simple as, keep me in mind if you know of anybody that needs help with real estate. The fifth time that you reach out, and every other time thereafter, you will never have to bring it up ever again, because you've now branded yourself to them as a go-to professional real estate expert that is willing, and they expect to get communication from you, and they appreciate it because every time you reach out, you are adding value to that relationship and investing in that relationship. However, when people raise their hand and say, yes, Chris, I want to support your business, you need to actually teach them how to send you business. And of course, remember, the 4-touch rule is based on 4 times per year. But if you pick up right where you left off and you become fast friends immediately with these people, this is just a rule of thumb. All of that could happen a whole heck of a lot quicker than once every 3 months. It's a general rule, and it's a process that takes place depending on the relationship. But you need to be specific when you are asking for referrals. If you are to say, let me know who you might know at your work that's looking to list and sell a house somewhere around $450,000 in Silver Spring neighborhood, even if the person they bump into at work or anywhere in their sphere doesn't fit exactly that profile, you've painted a picture that's so accurate that it's a lot less likely for them to forget what it is specifically that you're looking for in your business. So the chances of you getting a referral from that person go up absolutely dramatically. But they will say, Chris, I handed out 50 of your business cards. Did Sally call you? And you say, no, I didn't, but I just noticed actually that now that you mention it, Sally listed with Century 21. So you need to make sure that when you have somebody that supports your business, they understand when they send you a referral, first of all, you need to be aware of it. And second of all, you ask that referral partner for their permission to reach out to the prospect. If they don't have the permission, you simply ask them when would be the best time to follow up with them to see if their prospect might be ready if and when the time is right. Even better than that, of course, would be, could you set up a potential introduction through email, group chat, or of course in person is always ideal. And no matter what, if it's not a good lead, or if the prospect doesn't go anywhere, or if it doesn't list with you, or if it doesn't work out, or if something happens good or bad with the potential prospect that was sent to you, make sure, no matter what, that that person that attempted to send you business, or that person that did successfully send you business, you show your respect and gratitude always, because you want to make sure that they feel important and that they feel valued in the relationship you have. And make sure, of course, always that you're giving more value, you're making more social deposits than you are social withdrawals, generally speaking, with every person in your sphere of influence. Now, when we're talking about CRM systems, contact retention management systems, people get overwhelmed. The biggest problem agents have is that there's way too much time required to research these CRM systems. There's too much required to implement these CRM systems. There's way too many options and way too many tools that are available within these systems. And there's oftentimes a very heavy upfront cost in order to get these things moving. So as I mentioned, I recommend that you start very simple and just use a Google Sheet or an Excel sheet. But here are a few of the basics that need to be included in every single CRM system. In a perfect world, the name, cell phone number, email, mailing address, and social media handles for every single contact in your database. Some sort of list segmentation so that you can remember how and or where they came into your sphere of influence. The notes on their preferred method of contact, perhaps their family dynamic and their personality style. The ability to send out mass emails so that you can get that newsletter of valuable content in front of them. The ability to send out mass text messages so that you can give them announcements for any events that you have coming up, and of course for holiday greetings as well, so that it's automated. And then if you want to dig a little bit deeper into CRM systems, the more advanced side of things would include any sort of task reminder systems, pipeline management for leads with as where they are at in the process, social media integration in some regard, and then some automated workflows to make sure that you're leveraging your time to the best of your abilities. But focus on the basics first. Here is a handful of some of the most popular CRM systems on the market today, and I'm not speaking from experience. Some of these I do have experience with, but all of them I do recognize, and I'm very briefly giving you the Coles notes on these systems. Salesforce is known for the highly customizable options that are offered within the system itself. Follow Up Boss has a very streamlined system for follow-up based on response rates when you are doing your outreach. Chime is very well known for their lead scoring systems using artificial intelligence. KV Core, which is not just a CRM system, but also a website platform and marketing automation platform that also uses artificial intelligence. And then Exact Contact, which is a CRM system with marketing automation attached to it, and they are known for their direct mail newsletter campaigns. Remember, whether you are a social media guru or not, maybe you don't use social media very often, but very simply put, social media gives us the ability to reconnect with old friends that we don't have to go digging for their contact information in terms of phone numbers. I know back in the day we used to have the phone book, but a lot of people never listed their name in the phone book. You would have to go phone Sally to ask for Bob's number. And this is a lot more easy to just send a friend request on Facebook or an alternate social media platform like Instagram or LinkedIn. It is also one of the quickest, easiest, fastest ways to build credibility as a real estate agent to make sure that all of the people in your sphere of influence think of you as a real estate agent. It's also cheaper than any other marketing tool available. And with the opportunity to do video marketing on social media, that is the fastest way to build relationships to any depth with people without spending a ton of time on the phone. They see your videos and you're building that relationship immediately. If you're looking for content ideas in terms of what you could be putting out to your sphere of influence on social media, you could put together frequently asked questions and answers to them in anything real estate related. You could do a Mythbuster series for something similar to that. Anything personal branded related. Who you are, what you stand for. Maybe some behind the scenes in what's going on in your real estate business. You could post some testimonials and put the authentic screenshots. Don't recreate it and make it look fancy. Make sure that people know that it's authentic. Maybe some press release from any awards that you've recently received, or maybe some case studies or stories from clients or experiences that you've had in the marketplace. When you are building relationships in your sphere of influence, never treat them like a dollar sign. Always give without expectation and make sure your social deposits outweigh your social withdrawals. And of course, you will have scenarios that don't always go well, which I think is part of the reason why a large number of people don't do better at keeping in touch with their sphere of influence. New agents might say, those people don't think of me as an agent, so I don't want to reach out to them. No, that's exactly the reason why you do need to reach out to them. I know that my comfort level was, I don't want to reach out to the people that I know, because what if I don't make it in the business? Then I just ruined my reputation with all of those people. Well, you miss all of the shots that you don't take. Or people might say, well, if I call the people I know and I screw it up, they'll never forget that and I'm going to have to confront that scenario again. But at the same time, you miss all of the shots that you don't take. And what about all of the opportunities that you will gain that you wouldn't have otherwise gotten if you didn't reach out in the first place? And you might also say, some people won't support my business if I do reach out to them. And how are they ever supposed to think of you as a real estate agent if you don't reach out and remind them and communicate to them that you are a successful real estate agent? And at the end of the day, it's 5 times better use of your time than any other prospecting method or resource. So even if you don't have a huge list, go ahead and build it. But here's a bunch of examples of what could potentially happen. Maybe a past client chooses another agent for the next time that they come around, so never take them for granted. Maybe a family member decides to sell their home privately, or a close friend overlooks your services because they got a referral from some other family member. Maybe somebody in your networking group chooses specifically not to refer you, or maybe somebody in your sphere of influence unfollows or blocks you on social media because you post too often. Maybe a community member opts out of your newsletter or says that it's too spammy. Somebody might give you a negative review on your social media. Maybe one of your friends stops returning your calls and messages. Maybe somebody criticizes you publicly, or maybe somebody specifically says to you that you're being too pitchy and they don't want to talk to you about business. But no matter what, you aren't going to know who supports your business until you do the digging and do the work to actually find that out. And you got to realize that some people that you expect to support your business never, ever, ever will, unfortunately. But on the same hand, there are people that you know that you forgot about, that you reconnect with, and they come out of the woodworks and support you 10 times over what you ever would have expected. But you don't know who's who until you work the law of averages in your favor and put in the work long-term over time. And again, there's character character building in these exercises. You need to develop thick skin and rejection tolerance in this business. Even if there's nothing you could have done better in any of those scenarios, that's an opportunity for you to reflect and follow your steps backwards to see what you can improve for next time, because every failure, so to speak, is an opportunity to improve if you let it become that. Never let one person's response to your efforts be a deterrent to you pursuing your dreams and goals. And sometimes you lose the battle and win the war. Maybe they chose that other agent and years later that other agent stopped keeping in touch, or maybe that experience didn't go overly well, and then you become the hero that saves the day after that scenario didn't pan out. And some people in your sphere of influence will never respond to an outbound phone call, text message, social media post, email, or anything, but they will always reach out to you and or send you business at any and every opportunity that they get. They just don't want to be all chatty Cathy all the time when you reach out. However, there's also the flip side of that too, where there's some people that will engage in every single marketing effort that you do, but when the opportunity to list their house comes to be, they choose another agent. So make sure no matter what, you stay consistent, you stay persistent, and you stay plugged in without worrying about what happens to the outcome. Invest in the people that you know, because you just never know. And these are the foundational fundamentals that will build your business. Hope you found some value today. If you are thinking of interviewing brokerages, feel free to send me an email. My info's in the description below. Otherwise, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on this video next. Have a fantastic day.